Spotify is not gonna last forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the way people listen and distribute music is gonna change.
it's gonna change. It's gonna change. It's like I give it like by the end of next year.
Free big brother slammer. 2019 got caught with a jammer. New bitch, she don't got no manners. She know I've been drinking, come fuck with the scammers. Sam Allen, how I walk with the hammer.
This might be the first podcast of 2024, so we got a nice guest for it. Introduce yourself.
My name is Keshore. K baby.
How's New York been for you?
It's cold and a lot of walking and crackhead niggas. It's a lot of shit going on.
I feel like you got a story already just from the day of.
Bro, I can go on all day, bro. Seeing shorties throwing up in the subway.
Yeah.
And then asking niggas for help. I'm like, nah, I can't help you. I gotta get home. I don't know how to get home. I don't know how to help you if I don't know where I'm at.
Fucking SantaCon is crazy, bro. It's like all the transplants. Not that I'm not one, but it's like a fucking Big Ten football tailgate out here.
Dude, it's insane. All these people dressed up as a fat white dude that gives presents to little kids.
You wouldn't put on a Santa costume and go to a bar?
Hell no. I wouldn't put on any costume. I don't want to dress up as no nigga because I like being me.
You didn't do shit for Halloween?
Nah.
For real?
I'm not a Halloween guy. I fuck with like spooky shit, but like...
You'll put on an all-black fit?
Yeah, I'll go opium on him real quick.
Okay.
But I won't be in no costume ass nigga.
You
like,
too cool for a costume, bro?
Not even. I just grew up with no costumes. Like, you know, my parents...
Not even a mask? Nothing.
Nah, I mean, I rock a ski. You know what I'm saying? Or like...
All black with a ski.
Yeah, all black with a ski. You know what I'm saying? But that's like some like secret agent nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like 007 ass nigga. But like costumes, like my parents are Jamaican, so they don't celebrate that shit in Jamaica. They're like, oh no, that's Obia. That's demon shit. And I'm like, I'm not trying to have no demons fuck around with me, so I'm not gonna like dress up as nothing. I'm gonna just be myself.
You be out in LA now, right?
Yeah.
You like it there? How long have you been there?
I do. I love LA. I can't lie. I've been there like a couple years, just like going back and forth between there and Atlanta. But like LA, that's like, I don't know.
Did you grow up wanting to be like, I want to move to LA at some point and like work it out there? Or did you just like end up being there and be like, all right, I gotta stay here?
Honestly, at first, I wanted to, when I was like, I wanted to move, I wanted to stay in Atlanta. I was like, cool, I'm gonna stay in Atlanta. And then I went out there when I was 17, on a family trip. And I was like, damn, it's wavy out here. I'm like, I'm going to come back. And then I came back. And, like, it's like one of those, like, cliche stories where niggas be like, yeah, I went for the weekend. I'm still there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just never left. I was like, I'm just going to cool it here. Like,
yeah. What was your, like, living situation like when you moved there? So if you had, like, arrangements for a week and you just stretched that to a lifetime. It
was crazy. Shout out to the homie Jordan. Lil V, but his parents fucked with me hella. And they're like, yeah, just come, we got a guest room, like, just stay, like, work on music and shit, like, you a good kid, just, like, you know what I'm saying, keep yourself out of trouble. I'm like, shit, all right, I'm gonna do it. Pulled up, and then it's, like, worked on music while I was out there till, like, got up on my own 2 feet, and then just, like, went in on some shit with the homies, got a little crib and shit. Yeah, they came in clutch, bro. Shout out to them, bro. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am now if they didn't like extend that helping hand just to help a young nigga out.
So you're from Atlanta originally?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in Atlanta?
Shit. It's like a lot of like, I don't know. It's like a strong culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very like empowering. Makes you feel like, you know, you're not alone. It's just hella niggas ganged up. Yeah. Should be lit.
Music scene is crazy too, like, especially our age coming up.
Everyone's making shit. I feel like Atlanta still to this day got like some of the best people coming out. Like, it's just everyone is like pushed to have creativity because no one in Atlanta, especially niggas that's trying to have their own motion, like being like another nigga or like being told like, oh, you sound just like that, or you just like this nigga. Niggas gonna be like, oh hell no. So they gonna try different shit, and that's where you have like this whole sector of like all these talented people just like pushing the boundaries in their own realm of what they can do and shit.
Yeah.
You just get crazy ass music.
So it's like very anti-dick riding. Like if you're just like.
It's like anti-dick riding, but there is dick riding. There's obviously dick riding for everything that has like
that's good
eyes on it. You know what I'm saying? But like anti-dick riding in the sense of like every nigga in their brain is like, oh no, I'm on some different shit. I'm not like these niggas. Yeah. And then like they, go about it their own way and shit.
Yeah.
Should be cool.
Was it anybody like when you started that you were getting compared to a lot?
Niggas used to compare me to fucking Made in Tokyo.
Oh really?
Yeah, I fuck with Made in Tokyo. He's cool, but I don't think I sounded like him. But
I don't know. I hear like some of your old instrumentals. I could hear that, but I feel like that was also just kind of the sound in that SoundCloud era.
Literally,
like
that. That's what everyone was doing. I feel like, and they used to say I sound like TK. Because I would just, like, rap really, like, I don't know.
Aggressive?
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, no, this nigga sound like TK.
Nigga contemplate pussy ass nigga on dick, better come away. Bodies and bodies, they stack on my fucking plate. Motherfuck you, I'm a beast, but stay away. Hey.
And Made in Tokyo or some shit. I used to like, nah, bro, I sound like me. I don't know.
Is that the biggest thing? I feel like that's one thing a lot of people don't do is, like, when they're making music, they just, like, try to sound like other things that inspire them. Like, when you're making music, are you just like, fuck it, I'm doing me in the booth right now?
Now I am. At first, when I was making music, I was like hella inspired by like Childish Gambino, and, like Tyler the Creator and Chance the Rapper and shit, like Action Bronson, like hella like niggas that are established right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, they were a
bit alternative in the rap scene.
Exactly, they were like the alternative dudes. I fucked with that shit, so I was like, damn, I want to be in that realm. So like I guess like coming up, I drew inspiration from that because I was like, okay, I fuck with this vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a street nigga, but I move with street niggas. But I'm also not, like, some, like, indie ass nigga because at the end of the day, like, I'm still a nigga. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's definitely, like, Tyler and, like, Childish Gambino's, like, whole ethos.
Yeah, literally. So I was like, damn, I fuck with these niggas. I'm gonna just do it like that. And then, like, over time, and just me, like, fucking with music so much because I got into it like hella late, and you know what I'm saying, like I didn't start listening to music for real till like sophomore year high school. So I was like hella fresh to shit.
I
was like,
so that was like the first year you were listening to then, like Childish Gambino and Tyler the Creator?
Yeah, I was listening to that. Literally, it was Tyler the Creator, Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, like the whole Odd Future shit, Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, Mac DeMarco, and Tory Moa.
So this was like 2015?
Nah, this was like
2013?
This is like 2016.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Hella late. Niggas was already listening to this shit and they're like, you should listen to this. I'm like, what's Cherry Bomb? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like hella new to shit. Cause before then, like my parents is mad religious, so niggas was really listening to like holy music. And like I was like into anime and shit, so I was like always like listening to like anime soundtracks and like symphony type music, like mad like.
Did you play any instruments when you were growing up?
Nah. I mean, if you count the recorder.
The recorder? Yeah, everybody played the recorder.
Got the recorder playing like Mary Had a Little Lamb or some shit.
Like that.
Yeah, that was.
Your parents weren't rocking with like Playboy Cardi and shit like that though at all.
Nah, to this day, no. They think that shit is the devil.
What do they think about your music?
They like some of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they have to grow to like it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, okay, this is our kid. We can't be assholes all the time. But like they see the good things in it.
Is it a more like this isn't for me, but just support because it's you and that's what you love doing?
Yeah, and I feel like they seen the effect that it has on like, I don't know, people. They seen it like firsthand. Like they've seen like shows or like they've had people walk up to them and like talk to them about how like my music has like helped them and shit. And it'll be like someone that's like their age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they see the effects that it has. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, we can't really knock it if it's actually doing something. We don't have to like it.
You said their age, like your parents' age?
Yeah, like in their 60s and shit. Niggas like,
really?
Oh yeah, we like that song. Like, I fuck with that song.
Are those like old motherfuckers that just like been in like the music? Like they've been going to like underground shows since they're kids type
these
shit?
These are motherfuckers that read the Bible every day.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word. All right,
and they hear some shit and they're like, oh, I like this. Like, my daughter also likes this.
I was picturing like some like hippie that's like still going to like
Hell
shows in LA or something.
I didn't meet hippies like that until I moved out the crib. I didn't think that existed, bro. I'll see people's like parents and families and shit that were like hella lenient with shit. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a thing? I feel like everyone is like on your ass when like where I'm from, like everyone was on everyone's dick.
Who were like your first supporters? Was it like close friends?
The homies fucked with it to an extent, you know what I'm saying? Like the homies saw the vision. Most niggas did not though. Most niggas, it would like be.
I feel like most people's stories are similar. Like nobody really does.
I feel like unless the nigga really fucks with you, like that's your man's, and he's trying something, you see he's putting effort to it. Yeah, you gonna fuck with it. You're not gonna listen to it as much as other person would, but you're gonna fuck with the movement. You know what I'm saying? I would say my real niggas was like my first supporters. You know what I'm saying? But like other niggas would listen to it and they'd be like all in a circle and shit, laughing at the bars. And I could tell they wasn't really fuck with the song. They was just like laughing at the fact that, oh, this shit goofy as hell. This nigga, But it's all right though. It's like, you know, you can't wait on niggas if you already got a plan.
Yeah, so, I feel like it's also hard for people that like you personally know on a first level to get it because they're not really the target audience. Is the thing. Though. Yeah. Like it's hard to gain like new emotions. Like their emotions that they get from your music are gonna be a little bit different because they personally know you and have met you. Like I think like over the internet people just connect differently and it's a way different relationship you kind of have. So it's like very very rare. Like even like nowadays we probably won't get like groups like Odd Future and shit like that because that's just not how people listen to music anymore.
Nah, fact that and like everyone wants to be the main character, so you can't really have as much groups because everyone's like players. Yeah, it's like it's like one of those things is like no one has to be the main character. We can all just do this shit together, but that's not how the human mind works. Niggas naturally want to be the leader. You know what I'm saying? So that's also a reason why that shit don't work. But yeah, the homies was the first supporters. Shit was crazy. Yeah. I mean, they supported to an extent. Like they rock my shit and they would encourage me, and that was the shit that like drove me to actually put more shit out. And then I started gaining like actual like fans and shit. And then like I would like show it even more to like the city, and like niggas still want to get it. Like I remember one time like I was performing and shit, and then everyone walked out, just dipped. Damn. I'm like, oh shit. It's only like 2 niggas, and then my mans. I'm like, oh shit. My nigga leans over and he's like, yo, your music's good, bro, but you gotta make shit that other niggas can hear too. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the niggas knew what the vision was, but they was like, okay, you gotta take this shit into the essence of like not just music that you want to hear, like music that niggas will hear. Yeah. And it's undeniable that they'll be like, oh nah, this nigga's going for
What was
blood.
Like the style of music that you were making and like playing at that show?
Dude, it was like some like I used to call that shit like pretty boy music, you know what I'm saying? Which is like I refined that sound and it kind of became what it is right now. But at first it was just like shit that niggas was not playing in the whip, you know what I'm saying? It was like scared of hoes music kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting because when you like describe that, I was picturing like more music like catered towards women. Nah.
I mean, girls fuck with it, but like you gotta understand, like in Atlanta, especially in that time, like girls and niggas is like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the hoes want to hear ratchet shit. Yeah. They want to hear niggas getting down. They don't want to hear niggas talking about
kind of same shit.
Yeah, it was like the same shit. It was only translating through the internet. Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But like in my mind, like I fuck with the internet, but I like the shit I can see in person. Cause that's the best shit. I feel like that's the real shit. It's the shit that lasts the longest. You know what I'm saying? The internet shit is some shit that'll get lost in the algorithm in a week, compared to some shit you can come back and see the same people pulling up to get turned.
So when was your first show?
That was like around that time, like when niggas was.
This was like 2016 type shit.
Nah,
a little later.
This was 2018.
Okay.
Like early to mid 2018.
And what was the first song or project that kind of started going up though?
It was
I mean, when the first song I heard from you was Flamin' Hot Cheetos a while ago. And it was just like, that was undeniably just like a giant song. Yeah. Is that something that like a lot of your early fans still kind of know you for?
It's crazy. Like, the early fans knew me before then, and that's how like, it was like in the process of like, as I was putting out music, the fans I was gaining, then they heard that, and they shipped that shit. They like took it where it was, and like those fans, like they've all like, I guess like they're like a portion of what my fan base is now.
Yeah.
Like they're still there and they still fuck with this shit, but now I have like this whole other realm of like people that like what's going on.
Yeah, because I feel like specifically that early music you had going on is very different than the stuff you kind of make now, and I know like it's hard to make fans and early adopters to change the lens and be like, all right, like I'm a musician, I'm not gonna make the same shit literally all the time, and I'm never gonna be in the same mindset I was when I was making that. Have you dealt with that personally and like felt like you've lost fans before because of it?
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely lost fans, but it's only because they wasn't really my fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you were a real fan of a nigga, you want to see like himself like push himself creatively.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like think about like Thug is not making Best Friend. He's not making my best friend.
Yeah.
He's not making that shit no more. Niggas be like, oh, I miss the old Thug. I'm like, you're not a fan of that nigga Thug. You just fuck with the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you was a fan, like you like the shit that's even coming out now, or like same thing with like Drake and niggas like that. Niggas is not trying to make the same style. They're trying to like elevate it and take it. They're like push their creativity. People change. Their influences change. They want to make a different sound. So those people that stick with you are the real fans. And the ones that left, they was just there because the song was lit. They liked the vibes. But they'll always come back though.
Yeah.
That's the
I feel
thing.
like fans don't realize too that people's life changed and
people's life changed.
Your art is gonna imitate the life. So if you were probably living way differently and like when you started making music versus now.
And people always come back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't come back full force, but you're always gonna keep an eye on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you're not listening to, let's say like Frank Ocean hasn't dropped in forever. You went through a period about a couple years where you wasn't listening to Frank Ocean, right? You was listening to everyone else, but you wasn't listening to Frank Ocean, right? But then like out of nowhere, shit, let me go hear that shit again. You know what I'm saying? They people always come back. It's like the saying of once you meet someone one time, you're eventually gonna meet that person again.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with music. It's like once you listen to it, you're gonna hear that song again.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like a big thing of what we're talking about just has to do with like the Spotify algorithm nowadays. Like it's just gonna push the big and algorithms in general on social media. Like it's just gonna push the biggest song in the world.
I mean, the algorithms I feel like is like monopolized. You know what I'm saying, by people that have the big bank.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. The labels monopolize the algorithm by facilitating the playlist, utilizing it to their own accord, and then like Spotify itself catering to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then also pigeonholing certain artists from getting put into certain algorithms because they don't fortify a percentage or they don't put to this how much they want them to put in, like paying so-and-so Spotify to then campaign your music and push it to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's also weird though, right? Because there's a lot of SEO involved in it too. Like it's like your Spotify like artist profile, if you have songs with other big artists and pay to get those features, like in the back end of how that works, like that profile's SEO or just like whatever to their algorithm is looking better than someone that just puts out their own music too. So it really fucks up
hella shit.
Well, it also like it just like makes music a little less organic.
It makes music more like a chess game than like, you know what I'm saying? It makes it be like, okay, he's making moves, he's playing, he's like, you really like playing to the game instead of playing to the aspect of, okay, this is the type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is catered towards something now, which is nothing's wrong with that. People trying to get their bread up, you know what I'm saying? But that does oversaturate shit Can't lie, but it is what it is. It's just another. I feel like it's just another like challenge. Because at the end of the day, like Spotify is not gonna last forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think the way people listen and distribute music is gonna change. It's gonna change.
It's gonna change. It's like I give it like by the end of next year, something's gonna change drastically.
What do you think is gonna make that change happen though? Like, you feel like there's gonna be artists fed up with the platform because the way it's paying out, or fans like not liking what the algorithm is serving them, wanting to discover shit a different way? Like, what do you think is gonna kind of tip that scale?
I don't know, but I do know definite things that will happen, right? The cut down on streams, like how much they pay you per stream, right? That's going to affect how people even put out their music, I feel like. Because now I feel it's going to be like one of those things where it's like, it's going to go back to people wanting to be in the physical aspect of the music than it is in the streams. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of artists hid behind the streams because you can coast, you can just chill with the streams, you know what I'm saying? Not worry about doing shows. Got a lot of niggas with mad streams. They do a show, only 5 niggas is there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to change. I feel like it's going to have like, I don't know. It's like people are going to try and push for music to be more organic within all the BS that's like in front of it.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people talk about that too, because like, I don't know, like whenever you look at like how many streams is actually equivalent to an album sale, it's kind of crazy. And then when you look at the back end of like how artists get paid, especially when there's a song that has like multiple writers on it, a producer and a full artist, and then a distribution company involved as well, like how much money they get on the back end with how many streams, it doesn't add up. And then at the biggest artist level, how many streams for one album sale makes no sense.
Exactly. So the real money is going to come from being
like
on
physical album sales.
Physical shit.
Or it's physical products.
Exactly.
Merch,
with
albums, vinyls,
shows.
CDs.
That's shit that a lot of people can't do. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is just behind the screen. You know, I feel like that's going to be a big thing that's going on.
I feel like that was big in clothing too. Like, it seems like you've studied clothing and fashion as well. Like, you've definitely seen a lot of like the digitalized brands.
The death of the resellers.
Yeah.
The death of the resellers has finally happened.
No, but then there's also the rise of brands that are really out there, like Cortez and shit like that. Really be selling, like, do crazy pop-ups of free shit in the city of London and shit like that. Like, shit like that has to happen.
Making this shit more organic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone's been manipulating this media shit, this screen shit, the computer shit, you know what I'm saying? You can only manipulate it for so long. Obviously, there's going to be people thriving in that, but, like, there's going to be, like, I feel like a huge portion of people that are just doing it off the strength. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of people doing it off the strength right now of seeing those numbers. Like, oh, shit, like, I did all this shit online, and my song now is, like, whatever, 500,000 streams, which is a lot. But in general, it's, like, when you look at an artist and you're doing this for a career, what your revenue streams are, like, where is this really going to get you? Yeah. And can you do that every single song
you
make? Maybe not. Like, that song might have just, like, hit the right niche and just gone with it.
Everything goes like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. There's humps and valleys and everything. So, like, what are you planning on doing in terms of, like, physical shit in the year to change shit? Like, do you plan on just, like, continuing to do pop-ups, a lot of shows and everything like that?
Yeah, the pop-up shit was really, like, it came about so random, you know, because I was just like, okay, I just moved from a house to an apartment, and you can't throw parties in an apartment, or you're going to get evicted, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, what's something cool that can get everyone together, but, like, also give them activity? And that's when I had the idea for a pop-up. I was like, fuck it, like, let's try it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the vibes is. Yeah. And then from the pop-up, okay, I'm, like, starting to see, like, okay, there's people that want to come and experience something and have a fun time for even if it's, like, a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. So, like, bringing those people out and seeing them physically, and they fuck with, okay, this is the image that I want to present. This is, like, the music that I want them to hear. You know what I'm saying? That was like, okay, I can keep doing that. And that just pushes, like, that whole world. It's like I'm world building for these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, showing them, like, okay, this is what this represents. And then, like, me being like, okay, like, my last album is, like, the actual music that I feel like I've made, and I like it without me second guessing if I like it. So now I feel like, okay, now I can actually like present this and bring this to people and be like, okay, come and witness this and come and try and be a part of that whole thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's how you feel about Skull Candy? You think that's like you're in your favorite era right now and you're really proud of the music you're making?
Yeah, I feel like whatever I make after Skull Candy will definitively classify me as a GOAT.
Was it like in terms of that being like Sunset Diary? Was that like were you still like very proud of that project, or like did you feel like it was a different era that you had?
Sunset Diary is a legendary project, but I wasn't happy when it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I liked it a lot.
I know a lot of people do like it. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock that, but in the realm of artistically, like songs that weren't on there, that had to be cut. Because I was like fitting to a certain, like I was trying to keep it all this and that, you know what I'm saying, and like catering it without also thinking about how it would cater to myself, you know what I'm saying. So going into Skull Candy, I was like, okay, I want to make something that when you hear it, it's not like, okay, this nigga's trying to get niggas lit, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they're just like, that shit's lit.
Yeah, I want them to hear it and be like, okay, this nigga is actually trying to like take steps into creating something that is different but still fits in the realm of everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted people to see like my like artistic ideas.
I feel like what I fuck with about Skull Candy, like you have a lot of different sounds, but just like really well sequenced. Like the top of it, a lot of different like indie vibes, pop punk, middle more rap, like a lot of plug-in beat, which I fuck with heavy. Like you were going crazy on those type of beats. And then in the back end, like a little bit more like the rock, but like also the rage. You know what I mean? Like did you kind of have like a big collection of songs and then figure it out like the way it worked? Or did you have a vision of like, I'm going to start with like songs kind of in this subgenre and then it's going to segue here and then go that way?
It kind of like morphed into that over time because at first I like wanted to make, it was like I wanted to make something like lo-fi. I wanted to make something very just chill vibes. And then I went through a period where I was like, man, fuck that lo-fi shit. I want to make lit shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want niggas turn up. Fuck that chill shit.
Yeah.
I'm making hella lit shit. But while this is also going on, like I'm dealing with a lot of shit in my life. So the shit that's going on in my life is like deterring the creative process where it's like I'm thinking I want something, but I'm only thinking I want something because this is going on and I feel like I have to counteract that with this type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a tough time. I need something that makes me want to punch the wall. Or I'm happy right now. Why don't I want to punch the wall? I just want to vibe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going through these phases, intense-ass phases I never expected to experience, like, so early in my life. And then, as this is going on, the taste of music that I like to listen to is changing. The shit that I listened to, like, a year prior, I think is cool, but I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I start finding this shit, these subgenres, these different realms, because, like I said before, I'm new to music. So, like, the shit that niggas was already listening to growing up and all that shit, I didn't listen to that shit. So, I was experiencing all these things for the first time. Like, literally, like, a couple days ago, I experienced Weezer for the first time. Damn. People always talk about, oh, Weezer. I'm like, what the fuck is a Weezer, nigga? And then I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I've never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that.
There are some Weezer songs that are like actually terrible though.
There are. But I've heard some cool shit where I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
But there's some other ones where you're like, I don't know. In their sound of music, it's like, okay, they went crazy on this one. Like it really works and it clicks. But if it doesn't click, it's just sounds really bad. Not that that's a terrible thing. That's like art.
Nah, but literally.
Like, still.
And a prime example, I think this is where my brain did a complete 180, was I went on tour with Snot when he did Limp Bizkit. Like, I was just on the road with him, like, vibing and shit. Mm-hmm. And I've never heard Limp Bizkit before in my life until the day of the first show.
Yeah.
And I walked up, and I'm sitting there, and these niggas is playing. I'm like, whoa. These old ass niggas, I'm like, yo, this shit sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I've never heard this shit before in my life. I'm not saying it's my favorite shit, but like I just seen another realm that existed that wasn't just what I was already accustomed to. And then like I'm talking to these niggas and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get game. I'm trying to get, you know what I'm saying, some words of affirmation. And these niggas is telling me shit. And I'm learning more about these niggas, how these niggas is the reason why Woodstock doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And I'm like, y'all niggas? You know what I'm saying? These niggas is so chill.
Hey, for real, like their shit was just that crazy.
Exactly.
Like,
And I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know, bro. It's just the vibration they be giving off. Is there? Well, you were like, that's also different too, because I feel like if you came across their shit over the internet, you'd be like, oh, okay, like, there's a lot of people like this.
Yeah.
When you like actually listening to this shit
in person,
and, like,
you're like, what?
That vibration is crazy,
bro. It's crazy. And then like seeing that, and then like that's what gave birth to Skull Candy, was me being like, okay, I can't just rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much.
That's crazy
shit.
though, because like listening to it, I would have thought that you were listening to like pop punk and like indie shit for like a long time, like as like a kid. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Whole time I wasn't.
Yeah.
Niggas are telling me certain bands and shit. They're like, you ever listen to the Smiths? I'm like, who is that?
You ever listen to the Smiths?
Never in my life. I probably heard like one song like a couple weeks ago. Never before heard them shit in my life.
Amazing group, but
you know what I'm saying?
Like, but there's a lot of music out there.
There's so much music. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true. When someone's like, oh, how the fuck have you heard of so and so? It's like there's millions of artists.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Millions.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I really judge music based on like if I can really still listen to it and it sounds brand new, or you put it in like the era where it came out. Like me personally, like I like people like Lil Uzi, but every time I listen to Lil Uzi, I'm like, okay, that's just like exactly like 2016 or 2017. But like when I listen to like Die Lit or Cardi, like that actually sounds like it could have came out like last week.
You'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Cardi's a different level.
Is there any music
Cash
like
Cardi.
that to you that you still like? Like that is really your favorite music and you think is like timeless?
Cardi?
Is it just Cardi though?
Well, not just Cardi. Let me think.
What's your favorite project from him though?
My favorite.
As an aside.
My favorite project from Cardi might be A Whole Lot of Red.
I agree.
I got Die Lit still too.
Die Lit is really good.
That's a classic.
You know what I'm saying? You have R.I.P. Fredo on there. It's, you know what I'm saying? You got some crazy songs.
It's a perfect album, is it true?
Perfect.
Like, it's really good.
A Whole Lot of Red, bro. There's some lyrics in A Whole Lot of Red where like I feel like I was like, yo, this nigga Cardi, like, even though like his lyrics are very simplistic.
Like what though? I know what you mean, bro. It'd be like people don't understand. Like they'll call like Cardi lyrics aren't ass. They're just not like deep. You know what I mean? Like it could be something that's just like funny or catchy,
literally,
or just like he would say it in a different way.
Or there's some shit that he will say and it means like 3 different things.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it unless you experience those things.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So like one song he was like, ever since my brother died, I've been thinking about homicide. You know what I'm saying? I heard that.
Gang.
I heard, you know what I'm saying?
About homicide.
But I heard that shit like the other day. I'm sitting there and I'm like, he said that line, and I almost brought tears in my eyes, bro. I can't lie.
Yeah, now I remember.
You know what I'm saying? Because now
crazy.
I've realized like, oh, when a nigga's took my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the first thing that goes through my brain. Like every other morning, I wake up and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta pray to be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I want, you know what I'm saying? So like when I heard that shit, I was like, damn, like I know how this nigga feel. What would he say? What would he say? What would he say? Should be tough, you know what I'm saying?
There's just some songs on that album.
Even like the hook on that shit kind of got double meanings, like the Stop Breathing.
Yeah.
That shit, but that song is definitely his best song in my opinion, because you never seen like a diss song in rap music that's on some demonic shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like more 90s rappers, it'd be like, I'll kill you, but it's like tactical. It's not on like some serial killer shit.
Yeah.
Like this psycho like he is. But also at the same time, like he's talking about like ever since my brother died, like bro was like really grieving on that shit.
He really grieving.
There are some tracks on that though that are just like deep cuts, low key. Like,
deep cuts.
Feel Like Dying is probably one of my favorite.
Feel Like Dying.
That's probably one of my favorite Cardi songs ever. Control.
What?
That's actually a pretty deep song. when you listen to it. And same thing, honestly, with a lot of the biggest hits on there. I mean, Sky is a fucking anthem, but like Die for Guy and shit like that too. They're actually pretty deep songs. They're not like crazy lyrical. Like he didn't take some like hard hitting story and like just go bar for bar crazy, but it's still like pretty meaningful.
It's like one of those things you have to kind of decipher it. You know what I'm saying? Like you think it's like one of those like things where the beat is like all like happy and shit, and then you have the evil house. The lyrics is all evil.
Yeah, it's just like a weird juxtaposition that you kind of gotta like figure out and like why, or just think like, why the fuck would he do this? That's what I like thinking about when I listen to music like that. Like obviously, Cardi's not like, I'm about to put out an ass album.
Yeah,
and he's a really really artistic person. So you have to think critically, like, why did he think this was like fucking crazy?
Yeah, like why did he think this was fire? That's the shit I feel like is a good inspo towards like, you know, I feel like people should always think about that. You know
yeah, I feel like people should have that lens on artist shit. Even when they're listening to like anything. Even like if someone were to go in to listen to Skull Candy, they should go into it and think like, what was Key doing in the studio? And just be like, why was this song like made and what made him think it was like so fire? And like, for the most part, like no artist really is putting any full body of work out, not thinking it's like amazing. Literally. So like,
what were you thinking about when you made Halfway Psycho? That shit's been in my head all day.
Dude, I was when I made Halfway Psycho, I think that was the first like indie song that I made in that vein, and I was like staying at the B&B. Remember the B&B in LA? Niggas was at the B&B in LA, and I was sitting down, and I got a beat from I Hate Big Chase. And it was like we had just came off like the tour or whatever. We just all posted up, just like in LA chilling. At the time, I was like on my nomad shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just going from place to place, living out the backpack, just like vibing, just experiencing like life before I settle in and like try and get another spot again. So like my mind was just like on a frantic like anything goes. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was in the realm of a crazy nigga, you know what I'm saying? I was doing anything, I was going anywhere. I was like, fuck it, we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really just active as fuck. And like, that's how the song came about. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm like halfway psycho, but I'm also feel like I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I have no structure. I was living life with no structure for 10 months. I was like, bro, I feel like I'm going insane right now. And that's where this song like came about, like, me just feeling like frantic as fuck. And then like I pulled up to the homie Jake's crib, and like I was rapping the verse or whatever on the beat, and everyone was vibing. We was all in the stew smoking up and shit. I'm rapping and shit, and I got to like the bridge section, and I don't know why I did it, but I just started screaming that shit. I started screaming at the top of my lungs. Everyone in the studio was like, what the fuck? I didn't tell niggas I was going to scream or nothing. I was just like, yo, just keep it recorded. And I just started screaming and just like layering the screams and shit. So I literally, as I'm recording the songs, like, bro, I literally feel like I'm going insane. That's where that shit came from.
Do you like a studio vibe like that where just everybody is like almost like an audience that you're performing to, even though you're focused on what you're doing?
That should be lit when you have niggas in the studio and you're making some shit. You can really gauge if it's fire. So you can look around and be like, oh.
Yeah.
Is niggas nodding their heads or?
Do you like it? Would it be like random people in there, or you just like it to be the homies? Because part of me feels like random heads would be annoying, but also like
random heads.
I feel like you could get a genuine reaction out of someone that like never met you before. That's just like someone brought them to the studio, and you can just look and see if they're like fucking with it.
The thing about random heads is like they're gonna think your ass off rip. You know what I'm saying? When there's a random nigga in the studio in the back of their head.
They like put some shit on the aux, like.
Yeah, you're just like, they're gonna think like, okay, like there's been hella times I gone to the studio and I don't know anyone there, and they probably have not really heard my music before, or don't even know who I am. The first thing that comes to your mind is this shit might be ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's the only thing that be
a lot of people now are like really brainwashed though, because it's everything so mainstream focused.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, people's minds were way more open to listening to any type of music or whatever.
Literally.
But nowadays, the bar is so high because of how like mainstream and how big media is to people that it's like if I don't know you or like
the first thing
you don't got like a big check mark, you're like, all right, he isn't good enough, he hasn't made it yet.
Literally, and that's like the perspective. So sometimes it be feeling like when you're recording, it's like Nick Cannon drumline, like you got it beating the fucking drum and shit, like going ham, like show these niggas, yeah, nigga, I can drum, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like that shit. But I don't really think too much about that shit. But I do like recording with the homies, or I like recording, like in the daytime, in like a setting that isn't professional. Like I like holding the mic and shit.
Yeah.
When I record. Or, like, I like being, like, laying down or some shit. Or, like, I like being next to the computer. I don't like being in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like seeing the shit go like this while the niggas right here doing that. And I'm recording. I'm watching this niggas' fingers and shit. Making sure this nigga's on time. You know what I'm saying? That's, like, I like to be, like, that's my kind of vibe.
What's one thing you would say to people that is just, like, hate on shit that's hella repetitive? Like, if they listen to a song like me or, like, and it's just, like, even, like, there's so many people that say that about Cardi songs and shit like that, too. They
just not at the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I wouldn't expect you to like, I would expect you to experience, You know what I'm saying? Like, in the essence that we're supposed to be when you do the song. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, okay. Because, like, when I came up with, it's like when niggas perform and niggas don't know the lyrics, so you just say A, A. You know what I'm saying? But everyone always is gonna say A when they in the pit, right? Yeah. So imagine if you like, I'm in that Everyone's like, I'm in the You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm in that and there's like Yeah. That's like what I was going for.
Yeah, that part of the album got a nice little stretch. Like I fuck with geek heavy and basses. It's almost like a part 1 and 2 right there.
Bro, basses is like.
Bass is going crazy too.
That was crazy.
I honestly fuck with Geek more than Basses though, to be honest, bro.
Geek
I don't know why.
Lit. I love Geek, hook, bro. Cali Kugo, how you with the geeks? Yo, what? Big Bang Theory. Niggas be watching hella TV.
Do you write lyrics at all? Is that not your process?
I do. I be fucking around. Like I'll write. Like I wrote Geek. I wrote Basses. I didn't write It's like half and half.
Mm-hmm. What about like old Dirty Bastard?
I didn't write that.
You didn't? Not at all? Because I know you got collaborators on that, but...
Nah, not at all. I didn't write it.
Okay.
Literally,
How'd that song come about then?
The homie Jonah slid through to the crib. He's from like Canada, so like sometimes he'll come to LA for like a 6-month visa type shit, like a work visa. He's like making music and shit. He slides through. And me and him have always been cool. And we always like make shit together, just to vibe. And I don't know, he was talking about Bob Dylan, right?
Yep.
And like I was with Jonah, and then the homie Miles was there, and they're talking about Bob Dylan, and I'm like, I've never heard of Bob Dylan before in my life.
Really?
I'm like, who's Bob?
We were talking about, but that's kind of crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They're playing Bob Dylan, and I was like, what if I made this song as if I was like Bob Dylan? So it was like me kind of like trying to impersonate Bob Dylan as like a joke. And I was like, oh dirty man. And I was like, oh, this kind of goes. And I was like, wait, I'm going to say this. And they're like, what? And this is as like we're making the beat and shit. Yeah. Jonah's like playing the guitar. And he's like, I'm going to say that. And that's the only thing I'm going to say on this shit. That's going to be the hook. And they're like, all right. Oh, dirty master, you wish I did show. Yeah. And that's the first thing we recorded on the song was the hook. You know? And after we recorded, we're like, oh nah, this shit's crazy.
Yeah. That song is layered really nice too, and like I love the way like a lot of the instruments like come in and out, like especially the end with the outro, and you're just getting the hook like acapella almost. Really nice.
Makes everyone sing along too.
Yeah. It reminds me of like some Bob Dylan shit. Like, I don't know, like a campfire or something.
Yeah, like, literally. That was like the vibes. I was really just trying to troll, but like it came out wavy. That's
kind of the best music though.
Literally, it's like 2 seconds. You're like, oh shit. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then me making that gave like birth to me being like, wait, I can actually sound pretty good doing this. Let me try this some more.
No, your vocals on that were...
I just made hella shit.
It was impressive. The other songs I wanted to ask about are like fucking like Breakstar. I was wondering if have you been listening to like a lot of dance music, because there's that one and another one. I don't know if it's like breakbeat or garage.
Yeah.
But like the beat on the outro, that shit was fire.
I like UK garage.
Yeah.
I fuck with UK, like that whole sound. That's like a thing right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like it stems from like a lot of like dance music, and that also stems into like dance hall and reggae, which is I'm used to like reggae.
Like,
So I'm like
yeah.
Jamaican and shit. So like I heard reggae
Like
a lot growing up. Yeah.
I feel like that fits in your style though, because like generally you also are just like you're not making songs any longer than they gotta be too.
Yeah.
And like garage is also like very fast paced and like in the moment. So I feel like that was like still like a great sound for you to like mash up.
Yeah, overall. I love that sound, bro. That sound, dude, it be going crazy when you in the spot and niggas is all dancing and shit. The shorty throwing it back, niggas. Oh shit, what? That should be mad lit. I fuck with that sound a lot. It'd be cool.
I'm hyped for the show tomorrow, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna hear some of that shit, some of the more like hardcore shit.
Yeah, I got the OG shit and then like
shit,
the new shit, and then I got like this like on release track I'm gonna play.
Are you already back to making new music then? Like once you already put out an album, like are you like, do you give yourself time to reset, or have you still been making music?
Nah, I'm like, when I finished Skull Candy, realistically in my brain, I was like, okay, this is the songs that's on it. Was like last year, not last year. I'm tripping. That was like around summertime.
Yeah, in the summer.
But halfway, like around like maybe the beginning of spring, I was like, damn, maybe I should start working towards the next one. But all the best ones that I make towards working to the next one, I put on Skull Candy. So realistically, as I was working on Skull Candy, like halfway through Skull Candy, I was working on the other tape. So now I'm basically done with the next one. But I'm also like kind of like working out the kinks on, because it's like two different sounds.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to put out this sound right now, or do I want to like have niggas turn? You know what I'm saying? Because like it's really hard. I want to like do like both.
Yeah.
You know what
What's the inspiration for the name Skull Candy?
The headphones.
Bro, that's the only thing that like pops into my head.
I thought I also thought it was like Skull is like more like hardcore shit, and like Candy is like the sweet side.
I guess that works in there too. But literally, I came up with it because I wanted to make something that made you feel like you were a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like
exactly
nostalgic.
what I thought it was.
Skull Candy also makes me think of drugs. It's like candy.
Yeah.
Skull, like on some dark shit.
On some like
it's
fun, but it could kill you.
What?
Like shit.
I don't know. Back in the day, if a motherfucker had some Skull Candy earbuds, you know they was really listening to. They wanted to really listen to music like that
Because
too.
the shit would be exploding, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This can only last like a week and a half.
Literally.
The bass exploding. You got getting shocks in your ear.
They used to sell them shits in like Hot Topic and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's where you would get Skull Candy headphones. And if you had the over ear ones, that dude was.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah, he was.
The over ear ones was dangerous.
Yeah, he wasn't talking to many people in the hallway, but like he was listening to that shit, and he genuinely cared about the music he was listening to. That's exactly what I thought the name was. One other thing I want to get into is like collaborators you work with. Like when you go back and listen to your music with Snot, are you still like that shit's crazy?
Yeah, I'll be like, damn, how the fuck did I come up with those words? Like Indo, like when I made Indo,
That's probably my favorite.
I was like, bro, that's the fastest I think I've ever rapped. But I was like, yo, I was saying some like, I was like, what the fuck was I saying? I don't know. There's some songs I'll go back and hear. I'll be like, yo, I was on a crazy tit. Like I was on some crazy vibes.
What was you on like back then when you made that?
Dude.
What was the life of Keshore like?
Had dreads. Had dreads. I was starting to get the bad bitches as hoes, not just like the ones that were cute. Nah, they were bad bitches. I was getting bad bitches as hoes. I had dreads.
You're talking about it like it was like 10 years ago.
Nah, because I chopped my shit, so I went through a period where my shit was low, so all the hoes was gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the fro hose. You
The
know
dreads was a cheat code?
The dreads is a cheat code for every nigga. If you got dreads, you're
fact.
amplified. You know what I'm saying? But if you it's like
He knows.
you know,
He knows. He
these
knows.
niggas know. You know, nigga, you got dreads.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a cheat code. But if you have like a crazy fro now,
It's a cheat code.
that's also a cheat code. That's like the
Steve Lacy swag.
the Steve Lacy R&B nigga swag. You start getting the black codes on your shit. You see a nigga with a fro.
Spiritual hoe.
Yeah.
Or crystals.
What? In tune with their emotion assholes. Nah, facts. But yeah, during that time I was like, that's when I also was like going outside a lot. The stimmy check was hitting. Niggas had bands.
Yeah.
Niggas had bands just to spend. I'm like,
that unemployment, bro.
What?
2020.
I'm like, nigga,
I
I'm
was
outside. I'm outside. I'm macking on hoes. I'm taking hoes from they niggas. I'm lit. I'm like, yeah, it's all straight. Here, $200. I don't give a fuck. Let's go, nigga. We outside. Niggas was turned. I was on a whole different vibe. But
what was kind of tour vibes and stuff like that? Were y'all like really, really working, or was it still like fun kicking it with the homie shit too?
it was like a mixture of both. Like we was working and shit, but we was also like, bro, when you got diabolical niggas in one room.
What do you mean by diabolical though? Like I feel like you're
Break
using
it
that as a
down.
friendly term because you was there.
Yo, I'm a diabolical nigga. Like I'm a chill nigga, but I'm diabolical. Like niggas is diabolical niggas. This nigga's being quiet over here. This nigga's diabolical as well. Like when you got niggas in the same spot and niggas is making plots, shit always go down.
Is there any really cool things you just learned from Snot as like an artist?
Or any tour stories.
Yeah,
Any lore.
bro.
Share with the pod.
Crazy lore, bro. I feel like the thing I learned the most from Snot is like I understand now, like certain things, like you know what I'm saying, because he's like, I always think of him as like a big brother, so I'm always like trying to like learn things from like what he's doing, and as like I like get older and I'm doing certain shit now for myself, now I realize, okay, you know what I'm saying, at first like when you think it's easy, think everything is easy, but you realize like, okay, you're not really achieving this shit unless you put in the steps for to do it. And by doing that, you gotta make sacrifices and do certain shit that you didn't think you had to do, just so that you can be able to sit here and do a certain thing that you dreamt about doing months prior. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like endurance and like being like level-headed towards shit and not letting it OD like make you crash out. You know what I'm saying? Even though shit will make you crash out. You know what I'm saying? Being fully aware of the crash out before the crash out so you don't crash out. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That's one thing I've learned from that nigga.
Musically in the studio, do you guys feel like you are on like a very similar level? Like when y'all are making music together, is it still like I feel like you guys would just like are a really good duo in total and like sound similar, but you also like both like really open to experimenting.
Yeah, he's always down to try different shit. He will always be the nigga to be like, bro, we should try singing, bro. We should sing, bro. Fuck it, let's sing. Yeah. And I'd be like, I don't know, nigga. Let's just rap, nigga. I was like, I don't know. But that nigga was singing first, you know what I'm saying? He was always trying different shit. He would always be like, man, nigga, you always have the best beats. It's like, where the fuck do you get your beats? You know what I'm saying? Niggas was always like, I don't know. We was always like different shit, you know what I'm saying?
What was like one of your favorite cities on that whole tour?
Arizona.
What went down in Arizona?
A lot of things.
Where in Arizona?
Phoenix.
Okay.
Bro, Arizona, bro. It's a dangerous town.
So you got out the show after Phoenix. Where'd you go?
Dude, we just like, this was like the show day was like, it was all right.
Uh-huh.
We went through a period where we was in Phoenix for a week before the show.
Okay.
And it was just me and this nigga. In Phoenix for a week. It was me, this nigga, and the homie Drew.
You guys have a telly or you had like the bus?
We had a B&B. Niggas was outside. Niggas was going to parties, bagging on these hoes. Shit was crazy. And then was it Portland?
Yeah, wait, or Seattle?
Portland.
Nah. I think it might have been both days. It was like Portland and Seattle.
Oh yeah, it was dead Portland and Seattle.
It was 2 days combined. Shit was crazy.
They go crazy in the Northwest. When you talk about crazy, you're like the shows obviously are lit and shit, but you're talking about like the antics that happen in those
You're
cities.
talking about the Northwest snow bunnies.
I'm talking about the Bamps, the Cooters.
The Bamps.
Talking about the Cooters.
Oh man.
And remember San Francisco?
Oh yeah. San Francisco was crazy too.
That shit was crazy.
San
Remember?
Francisco was crazy.
No, I can't speak about that.
Yeah, you can't.
You can.
Niggas is diabolical.
Alright, bro.
Niggas. That's the
I
best
guess some
can
things
say.
are left better unsaid.
Yeah. Damn.
Boston was lit. The first show.
Boston was lit.
Boston was lit, bro. Y'all naming all the whitest cities that I feel like.
You gotta
Boston,
realize
Portland.
when you go to these cities and you the
Arizona.
coolest black nigga there.
Yeah.
And Nebraska.
And you got the dress.
Yeah, you had the
Making
dress.
music. That's what it is.
That's what it is. The white shorties, y'all get frantic when you see a suave nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all not used to this. Should be wild. We seen them wild out. Nebraska.
Nebraska
Oh,
was crazy.
God.
Nebraska
was crazy.
Nebraska was crazy.
Nebraska was top
Nah,
five.
Nebraska was dangerous. Somebody's mama was trying to fuck on me in front of her kids, bro. It was
Oh,
crazy.
no.
She was like, "We gonna take you home," rubbing up me on shit. I'm like, "Oh shit, your daughter and son are right here." They're like, "Mom, stop!" She's like, "No, he's handsome." I'm like, "Yo," she was trying to go back.
You take her back.
Hey, nah, I wish I did, bro. That would have been crazy.
You would have traumatized
story.
that young man.
Nah,
Would've
that
been-
would
his life would have been different.
That would have been
after
the
that.
start of his villain arc,
Yeah.
bro. He would have vowed everything to take me down. Started doing voodoo and shit, casting spells against my spirit.
Has your Riz changed up recently? Or are you still kind of like, you still go like same suave shit?
Nah, my wrist has gotten more and more.
How's it go like after a show? Like, it's a meet and greet. They're like, "Where's Snot?" And you're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Snot. It's Keshore.
See,
It's your boy Keshore."
One thing I learned is you don't get no shorties from the show. That's
Okay.
not where you go. You go out.
Mm.
You go out after
And
the
they'd
show.
be like, "Why are you here?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
you said,
you
"Oh,
didn't
yeah, I
go
was
to the sold out
performing."
show.
Exactly.
Like, nah, I
and
didn't
then
know about it.
you work your convo because now you're just outside, on the rando, and you stick out like a sore thumb.
But you in the city because you got your shit to talk. Like you was standing on business in the city already.
yeah,
So.
staying on.
But you
business.
saying y'all don't look exactly like what they would see normally on a night out in Nebraska. So it's like
Yes.
it's already.
It's already
Right,
some
yeah.
shit, or
Yeah.
like even in like Seattle, like Portland, shit you won't even see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these places you see us walking to the spot, you be like, yo, who the fuck are these niggas? Compared to if you're like in LA or like NY, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, you gotta realize not a lot of niggas is in America. You know what I'm saying?
In certain spots.
It's like 18%. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain spots you go to, they probably only seen like 5 niggas in their
Yeah.
lives. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy. So you pull up, they be like, oh shit, what the fuck? And niggas just do they talking.
So what's the Riz now? Is it still kind of the same thing, or is it like
The Riz is
it's more diabolical?
It's more diabolical. It's crazy. You just have to see it firsthand. I can't explain it to you because I might just Riz you up. If I explain it to you, nigga,
You seem like a more go with the flow dude anyway. Like if you just, I don't know if you really mapping out the Riz. Like you see,
I go-
fine woman across the room. The Riz isn't there, but like if y'all cross paths,
I be walking up, you know what I'm saying, chatting and shit,
Mm-hmm.
saying my little 2-piece. I have like a mixture of like, Michael Cera Riz.
So you're like awkward.
Awkward Riz, but with like intentionally
Mysterious
awkward.
Riz.
Nah, I'm not
Like-
mysterious Riz. It's like awkward Riz intentionally.
But he's
but-
not mysterious. He's like funny.
Yeah, like I'd be
Yeah.
like making jokes and shit, but I'd be acting awkward as like a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Stop playing," and I'd be like, "Haha, yeah, I know I'm playing. You trying to fuck with me or what?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I am."
I'm trying to imagine that in Michael Cera's voice. I don't.
This nigga seen it. Look, this nigga over there trying to act quiet as shit. You see the go down, nigga, for his hand, nigga.
Fire.
You wouldn't even expect it. It's so low key. It's the most low key Riz. Yeah.
That's your thing, right? I don't know if you got
That's
shout
good.
outs and shit. What's going on in the future?
Shout outs.
What we looking forward to 2024?
Other than
Resolutions,
the show,
goals.
2024. More music, more shows, same gang, and healthy living.
yeah.
There you go.
All right. Without Warning New York, Keshore, all of his socials, everything is gonna be in the description. By the time this is out, show and shit already would have happened. But
Recap vid
y'all can catch
might be
recaps
out.
and everything like that. But
Yeah.
we'll catch you on the next one.
Recap.
Peace.
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 Free big brother slim. 2019 got cold with the jammer. New bitch, she don't got no manners. She know I been drinking, come fuck with the scammers. Tim Allen, how I walk with the hammer.